Hello, thank you for joining us. Today we'll be showing you a very simple recipe that you're going to want to make at home. Now for anyone who's had it already, fresh mozzarella, just about the best thing you could eat. So we're going to show you just how easy it is, and it's about 3 ingredients. So go to the store, pick up a couple things, and make your family very happy. Our first ingredient today is a cheese curd that we just found at our local grocery store. You can just Google cheese curd, grocery, and your area, and you can find this. Very easy to find. Our second ingredient is salt. We're just using table salt today, but you can use kosher salt, sea salt. It depends on the flavor you want in your cheese, and the amount of salt depends on how much salt you want in your cheese. And our third ingredient is water. We're just going to add some salt to our water. Nice healthy portion of salt there. And we're going to turn the heat up so this brings to a boil, and then we're going to let it cool down a little bit before we add it to our curds. We need a grater, and this is so that we can grate our cheese to finer pieces. This will enable it to melt faster with our warm water. This cheese curd is firmer than most cheese curds you will get for mozzarella, but it'll work just as fine. The only thing we have to watch for is that we don't heat it too much in the water, because this will create a very firm, almost rubbery mozzarella. Now that we've grated all the curd, I'm going to put it into this stainless steel bowl. At this point, it's very important to make sure that your cheese is tempered. If it's too cold when it hits the hot water, it's going to seize on you and get a little bit tough. So we're just putting some warm water into our bowl of cheese. And whenever you pour water into your bowl, you always go around the cheese. You never put it on the cheese. At this point, I'll set the bowl aside for about 10 minutes just to make sure the cheese is nice and warm. Now that our cheese curds are tempered, I've taken a bowl and a colander, and we're going to drain them. At this point, we'll start adding our hot salted water to the curd. So I'm going to put it back into our bowl. You want to make sure your water is 90 degrees Celsius at the very least, but not too hot, or else, as I mentioned before, our finished product will be very tough. Now that I've added my hot water to the curd, I'm just going to gently stir it. Before it becomes completely molten, I'm going to strain it off into a new bowl. And now we'll continue adding hot salted water around the bowl. At this point, the curd becomes very pliable, so we can actually begin to stretch it. It takes tough skin to make mozzarella at home, but it is really worth it. If your hands are too sensitive to handle the hot cheese, you may want to wear a pair of rubber gloves. Not the ones used for dishes, but kitchen grade gloves. Maybe 1 or 2 pairs. You're going to continue stretching the mozzarella until it becomes very smooth and shiny. As you're stretching the cheese, if you find that the strands begin to tear, this is a sign that your water is not warm enough. Your cheese curds are beginning to seize, and they're resisting the stretch. You can see the mozzarella has become very smooth, and it's got a nice shine to it. Our final step in this process is to form our mozzarella balls. So this is very simple. You want to form a bit of a bun here, and then push it through your thumb and forefinger. making sure that it's very tight. This will ensure that there are no bubbles inside your mozzarella. And then you quickly pinch it off and drop it into your ice bath.
So what we have here are the ingredients to put together a caprese salad. We have fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, really good Italian olive oil, and some aged balsamic vinegar. It's a little bit thicker, and we're just going to drizzle that on the salad at the end. So we've picked up some nice, fresh, vine-ripened local tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes are the best to use. You can use heirloom tomatoes, which are usually interesting colors, yellow, for instance. The freshest tomato is the best tomato to use for the salad. And you're just going to slice it up to the thickness that you desire.
Next, we are going to plate our caprese salad. We will layer it with basil, cheese, and then tomato, and continue to do that.